Welcome back to The Cabin Podcast. I'm Andrea Belke.
And I'm Megan Christian.
The Cabin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Counties Association and something special from Wisconsin. And today we have a really exciting episode. We are going to be doing a Wisconsin artist spotlight and featuring an artist on our show. And then at the end of the episode, we'll also talk about some cool places that you can see art in Wisconsin. So you may have seen him featured on the news and all over social media when he did the wood art for the NFL draft. He's also made pieces for the Bucks, for the NHL. He has a piece at the New York Stock Exchange. I mean, the guy's been all over.
Yeah, and he actually happens to be a very good friend of ours. So everyone give a warm welcome to Ike Wynter.
Hi, guys.
Welcome to the podcast. How
Thanks
does
for
it
having
feel?
me. I'm excited. This is great.
I know. I'm excited too.
Yeah.
Well, what do you make of the cabin? I know you work with a lot of wood, so
Yeah.
I feel like we're under scrutiny here.
No, I mean, it's pretty vibey. It's a Wisconsin podcast. I love it.
It's got to be a little cabiny in here, but I think we had to talk about the elephant in the room that you didn't bring us an art piece.
I know. We need something hung up right here.
A little cabin.
It's been a busy summer. We will make a cabin podcast piece at some point.
Wow.
You heard it here first.
That's
We're
the
holding
first
him
thing I'll say.
accountable.
I mean, that's on video. So now
Yeah,
that's
no.
happening.
I didn't say it's going to be
take it back.
extravagant and crazy, but it'll be, I got to double look at your logo and see what it looks like. But yeah, we can make one.
That's what's up.
As long as it goes like right here. We can put it somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
Well,
We'll
you've
put it there.
had a really busy last couple years. You make these amazing pieces. Kind of your whole thing is you find discarded furniture on the side of the road. You pick it up. You usually film this too, so you've gone viral many times, kind of showing the process.
Mm-hmm.
And then you turn that wood into art. And you don't stain any wood. You don't paint any wood. Can you kind of give us the rundown of your journey and how you got here?
Yeah, I mean, it was literally stemmed off of I was cleaning out homes in Wisconsin. My brother and I started a junk removal company, and as we were cleaning out these homes, we were just tossing a bunch of wood. And in Wisconsin, we have these beautiful things called basements, and a whole bunch of people hoard stuff and hang on to stuff. And there was like just beautiful like wooden furniture or like hardware benches with just like so much patina and so much probably family history behind it. And wood is just one of the hardest things to donate sometimes and or recycle. If you think of, lightly used furniture or clothing, you can donate it. If you think of housewares, you can donate. Metal, you can recycle. Wood is something you can't really recycle that easily or donate always. So I was just coming across like wooden furniture that just had like so much, I don't know, character to it and patina. And I was just kind of falling in love with it. So I started repurposing it into art just to literally keep it out of the landfill. The goal was never to sell art or make a living out of it. Yeah. I was just like, it should be repurposed in some fashion. Mm-hmm. So yeah.
Were you always kind of an artistic kid growing up?
Never. No. I was like thinking back to middle school and high school, the art teachers were not like nudging me like, hey, you're not good at this, but kind of like, hey, yeah, you got the assignment done. Good job. But never like highlighting that I was good at art ever. Mm-hmm. I did get into music pretty early. So that obviously is a form of art, but I was way more of like the logistical dude behind our band. I was never the one writing the songs. I can't draw or paint. So the fact that I'm an artist today is like a trip. But I will say like, I remember there were certain art projects. There was one in like 6th grade and then one freshman year of high school where they kind of gave us the parameters of what we were supposed to make. And I like broke the rules. And I thought I was following the parameters, but they were like, oh, you can't have words on this one. I'm like, well, you never said that. Mm-hmm. So I do like that my memories of art in school, like middle school, was, I was like breaking the rules of what the assignment was. And not that my art is like crazy innovative these days, but it's like not traditional. When I tell people I'm an artist, most people think paint on a canvas, not cutting wood. So
yeah, so you were thinking outside the box as a kid, so that kind of was
I was like, I don't know why there's rules within art or it has to be this or that. Like especially as a kid, if you go to an art museum, some people get it and they know what they're looking at and there's like, oh my god, it's so incredible because of this. And I'm looking at it, I'm like, I don't know why it's incredible because of this or that. So I don't know. Art is subjective for most people. And I feel like a lot of people don't always understand it. So I'm trying to kind of just understand art in the way that I see it and understand it. And sometimes it makes sense to people. So
Yeah.
Well, it's interesting because if you never would have made that first piece, you never would have uncovered this talent of yours.
Yeah.
So what kind of sparked your interest in creating an art piece out of something you found on the side of the road?
it was like truly just curiosity. And the first time, I mean, I found like weathered wood that was like it went from a dark brown to a light brown because it was just sitting outside and it had something like sitting on top of it. So I'm like, oh, this is kind of like painting where people like mesh colors. And I was like, what if I just like cut the wood to look like mountains and the base of the mountain is like brown and the top of the mountain is like more of a tan or, you know, white, but it just meshes up because of the way that the wood has been sitting outside, not because I took stain or paint to it.
Right.
And I was like, I know how to cut the wood for that to look like that. And then I remember posting that on Facebook and I was like, I don't know how to paint or draw. So here's me like attempting art with wood. And to this day, like it's one of people's favorite. I still own the piece, thankfully. It's a huge mountain piece that nobody bought back in the day. So I still own one of my first pieces of art. And yeah, it's like, it wasn't that crazy or innovative to me. It's just the way I saw a palette and how it could turn into like mountains and blend these colors. So what I would have done if I didn't on that random like Thursday night pick up a palette and cut some wood, I don't know where my life would be today, but like it was truly just like doing it out of boredom and curiosity and I don't know, just wanted to try something.
I mean, you have some pretty notable pieces. For people who aren't familiar with your work, can you kind of walk us through the style, what the process looks like from finding the wood to finishing the art piece?
Yeah, I mean it's pretty simple at the end of the day. Like I just keep my eyes open 24/7 for wood that's sitting on the side of the road.
Did you see any wood on your way here?
I did not. No, but every dumpster, I come from a dumpster diving family. So every dumpster I drive by, I have to go and look at it pretty much. Like if I drive by a dumpster, I'm not allowed to go look at it. It kills part of my soul. And 99% of people would never go 10 feet within a dumpster, you know?
Yeah.
But coming from a family of dumpster divers, we just learned how to find unique things out of dumpsters or create a source of income. I don't know. It's kind of in our blood. So yeah, it's just finding furniture. I don't stain it. I don't paint it. I do not alter the colors of what I find in any way. I just take the furniture or wood, whatever I find, disassemble it to get like, you know, the bulk of the pieces and then cut it to the shapes that I need. And I was literally working on a piece last night and I needed to use this specific yellow from a table that I found. And I try to keep every scrap of every project. And like, thank God last night I kept scraps from when I cut up this yellow table because I needed like literally a 4-inch by 4-inch piece. And I still had it sitting around my shop. So that's like, I'm so stuck in my ways and my principles of like, I will truly never stain or paint anything. So it's just truly like a challenge. Like before you even get to doing the art, it's a challenge of, can I find this color and then can I turn it into this piece of art? Do I have enough of the wood to do it? It's like part of the fun process for me.
When you're thinking of what to create, is it you're seeing the pieces of furniture or the pieces of wood and being like, I have an idea from that? Or is it like you have an idea in your head and now you're searching for the wood for it? It
goes both ways. Typically, if I'm doing a piece with color, like bright, vibrant colors, right? Like last night I was using yellow. I mainly dabble in nostalgic pieces. So if I'm using a piece of painted furniture, whether it's blue or yellow or green, usually I'll associate that specific shade with like a 90s or 2000s nostalgic thing. Like, oh, that yellow is the perfect Kodak color or Spongebob yellow or anything, you know? So when I see painted furniture or colored furniture, that's how I see it. The other furniture, like all just like browns and tans and off-white, usually I just bring that to my studio. And then if I have an idea, like I did a Crayola Crayon Box, like, okay, I'm gonna make a giant crayon box. Let's find 40 different shades of brown to create this and bring it to life.
Yeah, you mentioned SpongeBob, you mentioned the Crayola Box. Let's talk about maybe the first piece that kind of went viral and got you a lot of attention. Was that the Crayola Box?
SpongeBob kind of went viral twice, like a year and a half apart. I made the SpongeBob piece. It went pretty viral. I did make a Mike Tyson piece way back in 2021 that went viral, because I was building a piece for Mike Tyson, not really the reveal of the art.
Yeah.
I just kind of went on TikTok and said, I'm building a piece of art for the biggest celebrity in the world. And the internet lost their mind. There's like, well, who is it? And I was like truly a no-name person then, like no social media following, anything.
Wait, that was for Mike Tyson?
Yeah.
Do you think he's the biggest celebrity in the world?
Well, I said everyone, I said
In his world at the time.
no. Okay. I said, this is a celebrity that everyone knows.
Okay.
That was the way I worded it.
Yeah,
and like, there's only a handful of people that you can really say that about, right?
Yeah.
Like,
No, that's fair. I think most people know Mike Tyson.
fully, yeah. And it worldwide, right?
Yeah.
You think of celebrities that might be big, but maybe that's like they're big in America or whatever. But like Mike Tyson is very well known worldwide. So I said like everyone watching this video knows this celebrity, which if you're making that claim, people are going to have some opinions.
Yeah.
So that went viral. But then, I built this SpongeBob piece, which took like 120 hours. That went viral. And then the crayon box is really what like took off. I made a giant box of crayons last May. I released it. That one just blew up like crazy.
Only last April, May you made that.
Yeah, a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
Because since then, so that was, I think a huge one for you. Since then, you've done so much.
Yes.
I do want to circle back. So the SpongeBob one, since some people are just listening,
Yeah.
maybe I'll put some B-roll over the YouTube version, but can you just kind of explain like what you made, like paint the picture
Yeah,
for
what it
people?
looks like.
Yeah, well, I won't paint it.
Well,
I'll cut it with wood.
you're right.
Right?
Make it,
Make it
Let the record show he doesn't do any painting.
Yeah. The SpongeBob piece was a scene from Bikini Bottom. It's the 3 houses from SpongeBob. Which the interesting thing about like that show specifically is if you show it to a 7-year-old or a 70-year-old, they know who you're talking about and the premise of it, right?
Yeah.
So very culturally known. So if you put a piece of art about that on the internet, like obviously it's going to reach a broad audience. It was recreated out of, I had to color match the pineapple of SpongeBob's house, Squidward's house, the sky, the flowers in the sky with wood from the side of the road. And the bulk of like the blues were from a dumpster from a fence in Minneapolis that I found. So like Squidward's house and the sky is that blue. The blue from like the road was a different palette that I found. SpongeBob's house was made out of lath from behind lath and plaster from behind Milwaukee homes. So I collect a lot of that. But it took 120 hours. I think SpongeBob's house alone took like 25 hours to create. Out of this shade of orange, because it's kind of one of those things. I'm like building it, and then after 8 hours of building, you stand back, and if it's right, it's right. If it's wrong, you have to redo it. Like I'm very particular. So I built that. It kind of blew up on the internet, and then fast forward a year later, the voice of SpongeBob, Tom Kenny, I had the opportunity to meet him at a convention and show him the artwork, and he signed it in person.
Sweet.
So that's kind of when it went viral the second time. That video just went bonkers. And it was, but also it's such a cool thing. Like, not only do I get to recreate a moment from our childhood and these nostalgic vibes, and everyone on the internet, relives that moment or era in their life. But then getting to meet my idols and then through other people, they're proud of me and grateful that, not only do I get to create this stuff, but like I get to meet the idols behind our childhood. So getting to meet Tom Kenny, his reaction to the piece was incredible. He signed the piece of art.
Did he do the voice for you?
He didn't. I forgot to ask him for the voice. He had like 250 people in line waiting to meet him. So I didn't really want to take up too much of his time. I felt like I had a good like 7 minutes with him, and that was plenty. We had a lot to talk about with just the art. He does act just like SpongeBob though in real life. Like people are just like, this is exactly how I would expect SpongeBob to look and act. And he's just a gem of a human. He was so just great. So
I love that. We have to talk about the Crayola box because that was like took you a ton of time, right?
That was 205 hours. So that was the longest I've ever spent on a piece. And that truly was like the piece that catapulted so many things. My last 15 months was all predicated because of that. The Brewers hit me up shortly after that. The New York Stock Exchange saw that video and hit me up. I don't talk about it a ton. I did a piece for a Power Ranger right around that the same week I released the Crayon Box. The internet was like going crazy and there was so much attention, and Crayola hit me up. And there's one thing to be on your phone and taking it all in, but you also need to like go touch grass for a sec,
Right.
real life and stuff. So like 2 days after the Crayon Box got released, the mother-in-law of the Black Power Ranger from TV hit me up, and she's like, hey, my son-in-law is the Black Power Ranger on TV. Do you want to build a piece for him? And I'm like, honestly, I could use a break from my phone this week. Like, it was the coolest week of my life, but just a lot of stimulation. I was like, I just need to cut wood. So I built a piece for the Black Power Ranger that week, and they gifted it to him on Father's Day as a surprise.
Oh, wow.
That's
Yeah.
nice.
Did you watch Power Rangers growing up?
I did, yeah.
Oh, I did.
I loved Power Rangers.
My parents would not let me watch it.
Really?
I guess it's too violent.
Were you allowed to watch?
Nick had a reaction.
I also had a reaction.
That was the thing though with Were you allowed to watch SpongeBob or no?
I was on and off with it.
Like my
I like snuck it in.
my neighbors weren't allowed to because of like the offensive language of calling people stupid or name calling stuff.
I mean, I feel I'm a little older than you guys, so SpongeBob, I feel like
you were
I was like way too old.
You're like, I graduated high school in the first episode.
No, my mom, I think she didn't want me to watch it more so because she thought it was annoying.
Yeah. I could see Power Rangers though, because it does have like explosions and like, you know, it is a little bit more graphic, I would say.
Okay, this is what doesn't make sense. I'm not calling my parents out, but we couldn't watch Power Rangers yet. As a family, we'd watch Braveheart. I mean, make it make sense.
That's history though. That happened. William Wallace is a true Scottish legend. No, Braveheart is sick. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, so yeah, like the Black Power Ranger FaceTimed me on Father's Day and said like, yo, this piece is really cool. And like, again, getting to meet your childhood idols. So yeah, the Crayon Box was the coolest project I've done. I still own it to this day. I don't know how I'll ever get rid of it someday or hand it off to somebody. I think the thing I'm learning with my art is like a piece that's sentimental to me. I think I would want it to be on public display somewhere if somebody does purchase it, because I just don't want a piece that means so much to me to just go up in somebody's home and never be visible again. I haven't really figured out that relationship as an artist yet of how to let my children go.
Yeah.
When you are cutting all this wood, making this art, because you're spending so much time, hours and hours and hours, what are you listening to? Is there a go-to?
I was going to ask, do you have a ritual while you're doing that?
That is the biggest thing. Whenever I talk about my art and what I get to do for a living, I get to sit in a studio and listen to music all day and cut wood. And that's like the dream. Figuring out the music every day is probably one of the harder decisions I have to make, because there's a different vibe every day. Like the past 4 days, I've been binging one album, which is very unlike me, but it's an album that I listened to heavily in 2021 and I'm listening to it again.
Album?
I forget the name of it. It's by the XX. It's like that blue and white album. It's not the black covered album, but the XX, it's just like a electronic band. I grew up playing heavy metal, hardcore music. So there's nights I'm fully just blasting music that is screaming and heavy guitars and drum beats and just so much noise. But I also listen to a ton of female pop, modern day and late 90s. Like I'll listen to Sheryl Crow all night long. Sabrina Carpenter, Chaperone. I'll binge it for days. Yep. So figuring out the music every day is very important in my shop. I do work late into the night kind of for that reason, so that I can just like put on my music as loud as I want and not bother anybody.
You will sometimes post at 4 or 5 in the morning.
Yeah. The NFL project was a doozy. That was the latest it ended up being. There was multiple nights in a row I saw the sunrise. So I was up till 7. I think the latest I stayed at my shop was like 8:15 in the morning. From the NFL project.
It's reminding me of my New York City days.
Yeah.
I can't relate to any of that. But I think we have to talk about the NFL draft. Yeah. That really, really kind of blew this hype train up of you and your wood art and everything. So talk us through, how did they even reach out to you in the first place?
It was, I still really can't fathom and believe it. There's moments of my days or weeks where like I'll reminisce on it. I'm like, wait, did I do it? Collab with the NFL, and it was a big project. Yep. They emailed me December 28th, I think. And again, it's one of those emails you get and you're like, okay, what kind of spam cruel joke is this? But at the bottom I had the trademark and everything, and I looked, there was like 3 people on the email. I looked them all up on LinkedIn. Sure, they were all real people. And there was like, hey, we would love to schedule a Zoom call with you on Friday. We have a project in mind for the draft because it's in Green Bay this year. Like if you didn't know. And I'm like, oh, I know. We got on the Zoom call and they're just like, hey, we found your art on Instagram. We've been watching you for a few months, which was kind of like crazy and creepy because I was like, what have I posted for months?
Isn't it weird to think about that? Like, who's watching my stuff?
Yeah.
And it just made me so much more self-aware and conscious. I'm like, oh, like they were tracking me for 3 months. Like if I would have posted one debatable thing or controversial thing, like they could have never hit me up. Like, so yeah, they were looking at my art for a few months. They emailed me. They kind of pitched the concept of like, are you down to do something for the draft this year? Do you work with a team? Because we anticipate this being a very large scale project. And their big question too was like, can we do color with you? And I was like, if we do a project together, I can't do color because think of the NFL. Each logo has 3 or 4 colors. They're all super specific. And there's 32 teams. So like that's hundreds of colors that need to be accurate. So I was like, if we do this, we'd probably have to do wood tones so that we can get creative with it. So yeah, we had the first Zoom call and then I actually flew to New York City the following week, had a meeting with them in person at the NFL headquarters, which was mind blowing. It was like 7 people from the creative team and walking into the NFL headquarters and people knew my name. And wanted to, they stood up from their desk and shook my hand. And it was like, hey, welcome, Ike. And I'm like, what? And it was interesting. The first Zoom call, I forgot to mention to them, but my grandpa played in the NFL. Now it's like so ingrained in my head because I've been talking about it for 6-7 months now. But it was just like a cool family thing that it was part of conversation every now and then. But when I went to the NFL headquarters, I'm like, hey guys, like, we kind of need to make this collaboration work because my grandpa played in the NFL. Yeah. And there's like, what?
That's
like,
very full circle for you.
Fully, yeah.
What team?
So he played on 3 teams. The most notable one that's still around today is the Buffalo Bills. So he played from 40, I think it was 46, 47, 48. He got drafted in 44 by the Buffalo Bills, though. But he got hurt like right away. And back then it wasn't like you get paid a ton to play professional football. He was literally going to Marquette while playing for the Buffalo Bills.
Wow.
He would go to school Monday through Friday and then fly to Buffalo on the weekends to play football.
Crazy.
And then fly home. So
super casual.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
Can you imagine that in the world today? Like professional athletes like working a job. Yeah, so they hit me up. They had a few ideas for this project in general. It was about 6 weeks of brainstorming, working through the contract, just finalizing details and just like, daydreaming about, okay, what should this project look like? And at the end of it, we decided that I would build all 32 teams out of reclaimed wood and we would redesign each team to accommodate like neutral tone colors. So all wood shades. And each team was like roughly 3 foot by 3 foot. Unfortunately, I'm a very tall human. So these pieces of art that I normally bring to life, normally don't look as big as they actually are, but then when people see them in real life, there's like, holy cow, these are huge.
Yeah.
So it's a lot to bring them to life. The project was 700 hours between collecting all the wood, which was about 70 pieces of furniture that I used, which was by far the most I've ever.
Wow, which were all being thrown away.
Yeah. It was the middle of winter, so it was the first time I ever went on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace and was actually going to find furniture. Normally I just like pick up whatever here and there and I have enough to work with. But since this was so large scale, I had to like find furniture. And then as far as like working for a team or with a team on it, one buddy ended up flying out. He's a huge, cool artist from New York. His name is Ricky TV. Super cool dude. And I was ahead of schedule for building the art, but he's like, dude, this is an NFL collab. Like, can I just come and help you for a weekend? I'm like, yeah. You're like the god of our art world. Yeah. So he came and helped me on a few of the logos and honestly taught me some things I didn't know. So we spent the weekend together and it was cool. I'm like, I get to bring to life the coolest project working for the NFL, but this isn't just a me thing. It's a Wisconsin art project. And I'm glad that I got to include some of my friends involved with it. And then obviously it was my mom's dad that was part of the NFL. So my mom got, she did some interviews and got a lot of attention and she was unfortunately sick the week of the draft, but her dad's name being relived in the newspaper and stuff was just super cool for our family. So
Yeah.
it was bigger than just me cutting wood.
Yeah.
For people that maybe haven't seen your clips, basically the tunnel when the players are chosen for their teams that they run down, that's where all of your art was. So if you're familiar with how the draft works or just kind of even football in general, it's just that tunnel. Your art was all along the sides of it.
Correct. Yeah. So the tunnel was 64 feet long this year, I think. So the way the draft works is, everyone's like, oh yeah, I know that they get, they walk through this hallway, then they come on stage and they give them their hat. Like that's what the premise of what most people know.
Yeah.
The NFL draft right now, they take the top 16 prospects who are expected to go first round. So during the draft, they choose like 208 people, 230 people over the 3-day weekend, but 16 people get to sit in the green room and wait for their name to be called because they're of the first 32 picks, they're expected to be in that class. So they sit in this room, and then when they call their name, they have to walk onto the stage. And in years past, they've had like artwork that's like paying homage to each team, but it was like last year was like mirrors in front of like literally printed logos. So it wasn't like super creative. Like the design was cool, but it wasn't handmade artwork. So this year the goal was divide each 8-foot by 8-foot panel into each division. So like the NFC North, which we're very familiar with, was like the third to last panel, and it's the 4 teams. And again, these are 3-foot by 3-foot, so they're huge. And one of the coolest moments of my life now, the coolest aspect is that on the second pick, the Jacksonville Jaguars chose Travis Hunter, who was expected to go, 1 or 2. And as he's walking down the tunnel, he goes up to the Jacksonville Jaguars logo and just slaps it, 2 hands on it. And everyone just lost their mind. Yeah. I mean, he's paying homage to his future team and his future life and career. 10 million people are watching that on TV. There was 150,000 people in Green Bay watching it live, and my phone blew up a little bit.
Were you worried?
I was going to say.
I saw these clips. They are slapping.
Oh, they're hitting them.
They're hitting your art so hard.
I wasn't too nervous about it, but it was just very surreal in the moment. It still isn't I haven't wrapped my head around it. And then I was with the creative team from the NFL, the people I worked alongside, because we were standing there and we were, just basking in the moment, thought, this is like their whole project was done. And when that happened, we all just kind of looked at each other and we're like, what? And then like 20 minutes later, I haven't really told this story, but 20 minutes later, the CMO of the NFL came up to me. He's like a 60-year-old man. I think his name is Willie or Wally or something. He comes up, he's like, hey, I'm the CMO. He's like, you realize we just kind of changed the premise of the NFL draft forever. He's like, we need to have 3D artwork every year moving forward after this.
That's awesome.
Because it became a trend in the green room that night that every player was going to pay homage to the team that they just got drafted to. So at the end of it, I think 8 or 10 of the people slapped the artwork or interacted with the art. I will say, I told the creative team, I said, if they touch the Carolina Panthers one, it could break because it was very fragile wood. Like the whiskers on the Panther was very fragile. And it was like the 18th pick, I think. And it was like by pick 15, I just leaned over and I was like, hey, if they touch this one, it could break, by the way. And we're like, all right, well, let's wait and see. And he like knelt down to it and like screamed at it and did not touch it, thankfully. But as he was like, that moment, that 0.5 seconds lasted 10 minutes in my head. Like as he's going down to go near it, I'm like, please don't touch it, dude. The cool thing was that, that night happened, 3 hours, 10 of the dudes interacted with the art. That was really cool. Obviously the next day, ESPN wanted to interview me, CNN wanted to interview me. It was like, because the art was so, people were wondering who was the artist that created all the artwork that was on the walls and wanted to hear more about it. And then Saturday, the Packers drafted somebody who stayed all weekend. He wanted to be drafted in person. So I'm just walking around the draft Saturday hanging out because I was like, oh, my art is kind of out of the show now. not knowing that somebody stuck around. So I get a text from the NFL creative team being like, your artwork just got slapped like crazy on national TV because that dude, just 2 hands, and the whole wall shook. The whole hallway was shaking. And the fact that it didn't fall off then, like, I know how I built the Packers piece, and it was thicker, so they were able to screw it in better. So it was more secure than some of the other pieces. Like if you'd have done that to the Jets, it probably would have fallen off. Other teams, it would have fallen off. They were like thinner.
Yeah.
And like he just 2 hands. I'll send you guys a clip of it. It was nuts.
Yeah.
That's wild because it's not like you were making the wood thinking, oh,
No.
Right.
big NFL players are going to slap.
No one expected that. I'm just sitting in my studio listening to Sabrina Carpenter cutting like tiny little pieces of wood. It was crazy. And I think I did like 107 interviews prior to the draft about it, and then a ton after. And it was a very, very crazy, hectic moment in my life. I still don't think I've truly come down from it. And then, so that was Thursday through Saturday. And then Saturday night, I got invited to go play a celebrity football game.
Sweet.
In Green Bay with Amon Green as my quarterback, which is like every kid's dream. Amon Green is just throwing me dimes. And the first half, I dropped a couple, and I had to get dialed in at halftime. I'm like Ike,
in right now.
Amon Green is throwing you passes. This is not just like backyard football right now. You have to lock in, dude. So second half, I had like 3 interceptions, 3 touchdowns. I won MVP of the game.
That whole experience must have been such a pinch me moment. I mean, how do you even process something like that? And how do you, like, the come down must have been tough, right?
It was. Yeah, I still think I'm still going through it. And like, I'm kind of nervous and anxious that, you know, the season starts here soon for NFL. And they're probably going to show these clips on TV of like, hey, here's Travis Hunter. He just got an interception this week. Here's his draft pick from April in Green Bay. And like, it's exciting for sure to see that clip or, you know, have that notoriety. But it comes with anxiety and everything else. Like, what is my next, like as an artist, it's just kind of up to you every day. Is like, what is my next project? It's probably not going to be as big as the NFL. And I don't know, there's a million things to think about. I just need to like go to my studio, cut wood, go back to the basics.
The Cabin is brought to you by the Wisconsin Counties Association. And this week we are featuring Florence County. Tucked into the Northwoods and established in 1882, Florence County was named after Florence Hulst, daughter of a local mining executive. Florence County is the second least populated county behind Menominee County, and it's without a single incorporated city. This makes Florence County a true escape from the hustle and bustle. Over 80% of Florence County is forested, and you will also find over 265 lakes and 165 miles of river. You can paddle down the Pine or Popple rivers, cast a line in crystal clear waters, and in the winter, Florence County transforms into a snowy playground for snowmobiling, cross-country skiing, and ice fishing. Keys Peak Recreation Area is a hot spot for skiing. Also head to the county seat of Florence. There is so much to do and see in Florence County. For more info, go to wicounties.org.
Now you can uncover all the amazing local and Wisconsin-made products with ease, thanks to Something Special from Wisconsin. Browse through an array of product categories that feature Wisconsin's finest goods, including meats and charcuterie. Enjoy every bite of Wisconsin with the selection of locally sourced meats and charcuterie. From savory sausages to artisanal bacon, member producers take pride in crafting delicious options that are perfect for any gathering. Jams, jellies, and sauces. Add a burst of flavor to your meals with delightful jams, jellies, and sauces. Made from fresh, locally sourced ingredients, these products are perfect for enhancing your favorite dishes or enjoying them on their own. Baked goods. Indulge your sweet tooth with a variety of baked goods made by talented local bakers. From mouthwatering pies and artisan breads to cookies and pastries, there's something to satisfy every craving. Candles and soaps. Explore the world of handmade candles and soaps crafted by skilled artisans. These products not only smell amazing, but also make for thoughtful gifts that bring a touch of Wisconsin charm into any home. Outdoor gear and apparel. Gear up for your next adventure with Wisconsin-made outdoor gear and apparel, and even fishing tackle. Whether you're hiking, camping, or simply enjoying the beauty of nature, these local brands offer high-quality products designed for the great outdoors. Start your exploration on somethingspecialwi.com with the member directory search. Every category highlights our state's uniqueness.
Right after the NFL draft, I followed it up with a piece for the Killers. Like, I did this campaign of, can I make a piece of art and gift it to the Killers because they were coming to town for Summerfest.
Which you didn't even know if you were going to be able to give it to them, right?
No, not at all. I found out an hour and a half before they played that I was going to meet them.
What you do on social media is so incredible. Like, your art's incredible, but I am so fascinated by the process that where you get fans engaged. And so for the Killers, I got to experience just, you know, you making this piece and then posting saying tag the Killers.
Yeah.
You didn't have a connection to the Killers. You were basically just hoping that this would come together. And didn't it come together just last minute that you were able to meet them? Yeah,
it was like 6 o'clock. I got an email that literally just said, it was the most basic email. I might just print it out and frame it. The title of the email said, "I'm the Killers manager." And the body said, "Text me," and the number.
And that was 6 o'clock before their show at 7:30.
Yeah, their show started at like 8. And
like send us the screenshot, we'll blur it out.
Yeah, right. And like the email is so basic. I'm like, this is the harshest prank I've ever heard. Like, again, like, so I think I looked at his email and saw his name, and I, again, LinkedIn, checked him out.
Yep.
I'm like, he is an artist manager. So yeah, I was like, what do I have to lose? So I text the number and I'm like, "Hey, this is Ike. I'm at the fairgrounds now." And he's like, "Okay, what are you trying to do?" And I was like, if I could just get 5 minutes, meet the band, take a photo, that would make things, you know, that would make my life. And he's like, "All right, let me see what we can do." And then, literally, like, he's like, "Give me 20 minutes." And so I went over and started chatting with Summerfest and their social team. And he's like, "All right, meet me at this gate at 8 o'clock or whatever." Security was very tight for the Killers. Like, I had to go through like 4 rounds of security just to get to the hallway to meet them.
Yeah. Well, you're bringing this giant piece of wood
right
through.
Yeah. There was no audio or video recording once we met them, but the conversation was very, very wholesome. They had seen the piece online. So like, hearing that Brandon Flowers, who was like the, you know, a voice of my childhood, and an album, you know, the first 2 albums from Killers I had on repeat for days as a kid. So to hear that he's like, "Oh yeah, I saw this piece online earlier this week, and didn't you make it out of like a dresser from the side of the road and a couple drawers?" And he's like, "I saw the video and he's like, this is sick, dude." I'm like, "What? Thanks, dude." Yeah, so we talked for like 5 minutes. They really thought the piece was cool. And then I shipped it out to their place in Vegas. So yeah, it was, I don't know. It was just like a social media campaign of like, you know what? The Killers are coming to town. I wonder if I could get them a piece of art. And I knew if, like, at the end of the day, if I'm going to do a social campaign where I'm asking people to help me out and tag somebody, I have to give my 100% effort. So I spent 140 hours on this piece of art that I didn't know if it was going to look right, if it was going to be able to, I don't know, just there was so many variables, but I was like, I might as well try.
Do you have someone in mind who you're like, I really want to make an art piece for you specifically? Or is it just kind of as it comes?
Both. I have like 5 moonshots in life. The 2 people I really want to build art for someday is Tony Hawk. I would love to get a piece to him. And then Green Day is the #1 band I want to get a piece to. When I think to my childhood, you know, meeting Tom Kenny was cool. Meeting the Killers was cool. But like, if I had to pick my favorite band from my childhood, it's 100% Green Day. And Tony Hawk, I respect him for a lot of reasons. He was a big part of my childhood. The first 4 video games are just like, I spent hundreds of hours on it. And really, I mean, he took a thing. Skateboarding was not popular in the 80s and 90s. And between him and these like 10 other people, kind of revolutionized it. And now it's part of the Olympics. Yeah. Like, you can't deny that. And at the end of the day, like, he's just a regular dude. Like, that's the beauty of most musicians and skaters is like, they're just regular people. And just like, they don't really get caught up in the hype. Like, Tony still skates every day. So he's just had the blessings and opportunities to become this big personality and inspire kids. So to get him a piece would be very, very cool. And then that's what I want to build art for. And then I have goals of I really want to be on the Kelly Clarkson show. That's like awesome. top tier.
Kelly Clarkson.
I love Kelly Clarkson, dude. Yeah, Kelly Clarkson, she's up there. Good Morning America.
You were on the Today Show.
I was on the Today Show, which is like just as big with ratings. I just grew up watching Good Morning America. Like, I don't know. Today Show wasn't good enough. Like, I don't know.
Yeah. Well, how does it feel knowing that these dreams are actually achievable?
Yeah. I call them moonshots because they're not dreams. Like they're gonna happen one way or another, and I'm not in a rush. Like I kind of know what I want to build for Tony Hawk, and I know exactly what I want to build for Green Day. So I'm keeping my eyes and ears open to like opportunities and when things are right, but I'm not in a rush to do them. You know.
Well, if either of you are hearing this,
right.
I mean, they might be listening to the cabin. They really might be.
I let the universe do its thing.
I got an in for you for Tony Hawk.
Do you?
Yeah.
So I'm friends with a handful of professional skaters who do skate with them regularly. I try not to be too nudgy or like, I don't know. Like I respect the world and how it operates, and like the Killers piece, like, hey, if it's meant to be, it'll happen. And I'm not here to bother anybody. I just want to, do something and try to create this moment. So it'll happen in due time.
Yeah. All right. Well, there's two more things to talk about. One is where people can see art in Wisconsin, because you also love viewing art of all types. But also, I think we have a cabin exclusive. You did tell us before we were rolling that you would give us a little teaser into your next project.
About my next,
Yes.
Yeah. So are you still down to tell us what's next?
Yeah. I'm building a very again, it's like a cool project in my eyes. We'll see how the world receives it. The cool thing about what I get to do is like, yes, even though millions of people see videos or jump on trends of tagging people for them to see my art, like at the end of the day, before anyone gets to see it, I kind of get to put my stamp of approval and I'm appreciative of the art project, and then the world gets to see it. So whether the world receives this piece of art and is excited as I am, I know it's going to turn out cool. It's pretty much like those childhood blocks that you had as a kid, and they have like these giant like green blue or green B on it or a red A, like those wooden blocks, and they're a cube. So pretty much I'm turning that life size because I love nostalgia and art combined. So it's going to be a sculpture that's 6'6".
Wow.
Oh, wow, your height.
All right.
Yeah.
So each block is, or each cube is like 20, what does that come out to? 28 inches, 26 inches. It's going to be 3 letters stacked on top of each other. And the goal was to make it say MKE. And then on the sides of it is going to be like, I'm still like debating what I put on the sides of it. My goal or my vision right now is to do Milwaukee landmarks. So like, a basic illustration of the art museum or the clock tower in Milwaukee. But yeah, the goal is to make these 3 blocks and then see if we can tag and pitch it to the Milwaukee airport.
Sweet.
That's my goal, because that MKE is our airport code.
Yep.
So yeah, that's my goal.
So everybody, when you got to follow Ike on social media, and when he says it's go time, you have to tag the airport.
Which is such a funny thing, because like I started following the airport on Instagram the other day, and it's like, it's not like they need to promote their business. Like airports are in a great business model where people are looking to buy flights. So if we flood them with thousands of comments, I don't know what their response would be.
Wouldn't that be
They're
so funny?
Be so confused.
Wouldn't it be so funny if they ghost you?
Yeah, right.
You get the Killers' attention, and
I've gotten the Killers, I've gotten Crayola, I've gotten Mike Tyson, the Brewers, and like MKE Airport is.
I think that's cool though, because a lot of the time when people are coming home, they're like, "Oh, back in Milwaukee."
Fully,
it's one of those things they can just take a picture of and say, "I'm home."
I hope they're down. They also, the Milwaukee airport is the only airport, I believe, that has the recombobulation zone.
Recombobulation area. Yeah.
Recombobulation station.
Oh, my bad.
I think is what it's called.
No, it's area.
Is it?
thought it
Well,
was
they
zone.
should call it
All right.
recombobulation.
So we all have different opinions.
Is it area, zone, or station? We really need to.
Well,
James Groh, whenever he flies, he usually posts it on his Instagram. J-Matt posts it on his Instagram too.
Well,
there's a handful of creators who always post it.
I feel like
think
it should
area.
be called the recombobulation station because that sounds cooler.
Yeah. Okay. Well, if you get their attention, maybe we'll bring it up to them too.
Yeah. What if I just like after this piece of art, I make a piece of wood art that says recombobulation zone?
Yeah. You can just stick it there.
Yeah. Right. I don't know. Like the beauty of it is, as much as I've gotten to do national stuff and be on national news, and the Killers are from Vegas and all this stuff, like Milwaukee is my home, and I love putting Milwaukee and Wisconsin on the map. People have flown here to see my art, which is crazy. So I think moving forward, like, yeah, I do want to do a few pieces for bigger known people or brands, but then every so often do a piece for Milwaukee or for Wisconsin specifically.
Sure.
So
yeah, why do you love tying in your state of Wisconsin so much?
A handful of reasons. I love underdog stories, and Milwaukee is not the most, talked about city in America. So I think like having a prominent thing that comes, like if people will be like, oh yeah, he's the artist from Milwaukee.
Yeah.
Like it gets our name out there more. You think of the Packers, like we're the smallest market, the Brewers, most small funded baseball team. Like we're the underdogs in a lot of different fashions. Yeah. So me being a kid who didn't really understand art growing up, and I was like, can I just cut wood and call this stuff art and turn it into something? Like I kind of like tying it to a city and a state that kind of has that notoriety of like not the most funded or popular, but like still puts on a good show, and people know our state for a handful of reasons. So I just want to be one other reason.
Yeah. Before we dive into where to see other art around Wisconsin, where can people see your art?
So I have a handful of pieces up in the Milwaukee area. I just got a piece installed at the Milwaukee Public Market, which is very cool. It was remnants from the set of Top Chef. So I partnered with Visit Milwaukee and the Milwaukee Public Market, and we put a piece. It's on the elevator shaft going up to the second floor. So it's right there. And it's actually convenient. Pretty much all my pieces are on like one street. Unfinished Legacy, which is the main clothing brand I wear. They have a piece right underneath their front counter that I made for them last summer. I just got a piece put up at Harmonic Harvest on the third floor. It's like behind a locked closed door kind of, unless they're open that day. But you can still see it from the hallway and stuff. And it's one of my favorite pieces of art. It's not the Crayola box, but it's like another Crayola piece I made.
Yeah.
And then the fourth piece, which kind of really no one knows where this is or what it is. It's at the Milwaukee Athletic Club. If you go to the third floor, you go to like the Elephant Room. It's like a private bar restaurant. You can look down the hallway, and I have a piece hanging there. And I don't really talk about that one too much, but it's kind of like a hidden gem where friends will go there for like a dinner and be like, is this your artwork? Because there's no plaque, there's nothing.
Nice.
I didn't even know about that place.
So are we just calling this the Ike Wynter Art Walk?
Art
then?
Tour 2025 extravaganza.
There we go.
But the cool thing about, as I've been thinking about this Milwaukee block project more and these 3 cubes, obviously I wanted to get it installed at the airport, but I kind of want to do like a quick tour in Milwaukee with these pieces for like
That'd be cool.
a week and just take them to different venues and do like pop-ups.
Yeah.
I've realized that, I talk a lot about being from Milwaukee, and when I'm on national news or at the NFL draft, I'm like, oh yeah, I'm from Milwaukee, but you can't just say that. You also have to be a part of your community. And as much as I go out in my community, I have to bring what I do to the table and have it a community driven thing and have people involved. So I'm excited. That's just a personal goal for mine. I know I have to like step out into the community more and do more. So with the blocks, I'm kind of formulating, okay, if people are down with this idea and they like the project, maybe like do every day, go to a different spot in the city, and people can come take photos with it and come hang out, just do something like that. So
yeah.
All right. Well, Ike, as a Wisconsin wood artist and someone that loves to view art of all types, where are your favorite places in Wisconsin to view art?
That's a good question. So at the base of it, I like art that doesn't follow the rules, that is very unique, and most people can understand looking at it. I would say, so there's a brand new wooden sculpture by probably the most famous wood artist in the world. His name is Thomas Danbo, and he built a giant 25-foot troll in Wauwatosa. Her name is called Mama Rosa. I got to meet him when he came into town here. He actually stopped by my studio. So we connected. Very cool dude. He built Mama Rosa, and just mad respect for what he has going on. It's the 157th troll in the world. I think he's in like 25 countries. He's in like 25 states. So Wisconsin got their first troll from Thomas Danbo about 2 months ago. So go check out that. That's been a fan favorite in Wauwatosa. The second one I would say is a very hidden gem. It's called Spectacular Sculpture. Okay. I think you can find it on Google, but I literally found it from a hand-painted sign on the side of the road one day.
So where is it?
It's literally this guy's yard in, It's like just beyond Lannon, Sussex area, Colgate, Hartford. It's somewhere right there.
That's not too far from me. I'm gonna have.
Couldn't
to
even tell you like what street it's on. Just look up Spectacular Sculpture. It'll take you to like a neighborhood with this dude's house, and it'll say like it pretty much says Spectacular Sculpture, open sunrise to sunset. That's it. And you like don't know where you should park or if he's home or not. It's literally his yard. I would just recommend just parking your car right outside the gate and just walk down the driveway and just experience it. There is a little donation box. This dude just sits in his garage and makes art all day, every day.
What are the sculptures made out of?
Yeah.
Mainly steel. Like he'll take old propane tanks and make like giant sculptures.
Wow.
He'll bend steel. He'll take stuff that was just found and like, you just have to see it. It's insane. I stumbled upon it one day and my mind was blown. And then the third spot, again, for somebody who like doesn't follow the rules or traditional art, is like House on the Rock is just the weirdest, coolest art experience ever. I don't view art as just a simple thing on the wall. Like House on the Rock is a piece of art in so many different ways. And there's, you know, like 50 rooms in there with crazy pieces of art. So
many things.
It's just so different. It's like, why not just build a giant house filled with the craziest stuff that you would never expect to walk into a room and see a giant carousel
or the giant whale.
Yeah. Like every time you turn the corner is just like crazy. So that's kind of how I view spectacular sculpture. You don't know what you're showing up to. You know, you show up to a traditional museum or gallery, you roughly have an idea of what you know, you're going to turn the corner and see white walls with canvases and stuff. I like people who just think what if and why not? Like why not build a giant house with, you know, 50 different rooms on a rock with tons of crazy stuff. So non-traditional cool art.
Yeah. I have two that I think are really interesting. This one I've never been to, but I found it online. So Wisconsin Concrete Park. So this guy named Fred Smith, he was born in 1886 to German immigrant parents. He was actually illiterate, and they asked him, like, do you feel, I'm paraphrasing, but something about like, do you feel like you're behind because of this? He said, no, I can do a lot of things that a lot of people can't do. So he has this concrete park where he basically made 237 embellished concrete and mixed media sculptures. And these are people, horses, ideas larger than life.
Wow.
You'll have to look online and look at pictures.
At?
So that's in Phillips.
Okay.
So Price County, you know, up north center. Yep. And it's open to the public all year round. It's free.
That kind of sounds like spectacular sculpture to a degree. Like,
it's just a dude.
That sounds like the concrete version of this dude.
Yeah, I mean, this guy passed away, so he's not there anymore, but it's donation based. Like they keep it running off of donations, but it's free to go all year round. I mean, I was looking on Google and some of these images are crazy.
Yeah.
So basically, I mean, he was a retired lumberjack, a self-taught artist and musician, and he built all of these. This guy seems like a total king, Fred Smith. So if you're in the area, honestly, next time I'm up in that area, I want to check it out. And then the other one, I don't really have a lot of information off of it, but one time I was driving just on the highway back to Milwaukee, and I saw this water tower, this like mosaic,
right downtown,
stained glass water tower. Or no, it wasn't. Was I on the highway? No, maybe I was in Walker's Point. Never mind. I think I was just in Walker's Point.
Somewhere in
You can see it from the highway. I know which one you're talking about. You can see it from the highway too.
Yeah. Maybe I did see it there too.
It's across the street from the Iron Horse. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember when first time I saw it, I said out loud to myself, what is that?
Yeah.
I mean, because it's so beautiful.
Yeah.
And it's just this water tower on top of a building. It just lights up. It's really pretty. And then I was kind of looking to see who it was. And it's this guy that does it all over the country. His name's Tom Fruin.
Okay.
And he makes these water towers. He has one in Brooklyn. He chose Milwaukee to make one. You know, it's obviously not functional, but it's just this like beautiful sculpture. I don't really know a ton behind like his story, but I think he's just a really well-known artist that puts these up, and it's pretty cool that he put one in Milwaukee.
Yeah,
that is.
I think it is cool that, I mean, you think of that, you think of Thomas Danbo, like they're these worldwide artists that have the opportunity to build stuff anywhere. They could build, you know, he has one in Brooklyn, and they could build their next one in Miami or Houston or these big cities, but I don't know, there's this cool like touch point that people are choosing Milwaukee and see the beauty in what we have as a city and as a state. So
100%. Well, we're almost out of time, but I have one more question for you, Ike.
Yep.
What's the coolest piece of furniture or I guess piece of junk that you've found?
Ooh, I'm trying to, I have a sled in my studio right now, like a toboggan.
Ooh.
And it's like so beat up and the patina on it is insane. I can't wait for the day I get to build something out of it, because that, like, my goal is, I was supposed to do this last winter, and I'll probably wait to build with it until next summer, because I want to take it for its last ride
I was gonna say
down
you
a
have
hill.
to.
But it's like, it's duct taped on the bottom because it's so old.
Wow.
So I want to take it on its last ride down a snowy hill and then turn it into a piece of art.
Nice.
So that's a cooler one. I don't really know like a ton of, I've used pianos. I've used lobster crates. I've used some weird stuff, I'd say. But when I was running like the junk removal company with my family, we found crazy stuff a lot. I found a very large sports collection or card collection. It was like 25,000 cards from the 50s to 90s. The most famous story of it all is we found Gandhi's sandals in a warehouse one time.
Like
we didn't get
Gandhi.
Gandhi. Do you know another Gandhi or no?
I guess not.
Yeah.
But like,
I don't know his last name because he's a guy that doesn't need a last name.
Johnson?
Well, yeah. Johnson from Hubertus.
yeah.
Pretty much we were cleaning out this guy's warehouse. It was Indian owned gas station storage warehouse. It was like 50,000 square feet and it had like pumps and parts and all this stuff. And he pretty much told us, he's like, hey, clean out all this stuff in this corner and this room and whatever. He said, if you find a blue museum crate or a blue crate, I lost it 20 years ago in here. Let me know if you find it. And we're like, all right, whatever. But like, we've heard that in a lot of, we were cleaning out homes every day and everyone's like, oh yeah, if you happen to find this. And you never know whether people are telling the truth or not. So yeah, we found the museum crate and we didn't know what was in it. So I, got the guy from his office and we're like, hey, we found the crate. And then he like smiled at us. He's like, you guys ready to see something crazy? And then we're like, sure. So he opens up the crate. And it was Gandhi's sandals and his spinning wheel. So the story goes is that this was an Indian-owned gas station company. And like back in the 90s, this guy who was wealthy built like this giant expensive statue in India of Gandhi. And someone or something in India said, okay, in exchange for you building this beautiful statue, we want to take Gandhi's possessions and put it in whatever museum you want. And he said, okay, this museum in Chicago, let's put it in there. So they shipped Gandhi's sandals and his spinning wheel from India to Milwaukee, Wisconsin. And the museum curator was supposed to come pick it up in the 90s and never picked it up. So it was just in this museum crate sitting in this guy's warehouse for like 30 years.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. So
you had all the good juju.
Yeah, right. So we just like put it in an area now where he knows where it is. That was 8 years ago. It was like this third month in business of running this company with my brother. And yeah, that was pretty wild.
Wow.
Yeah, I don't know. There's always like gems to find. And yeah, I've been dumpster diving my whole life. So like, you never know what you're going to find on any given day.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for everything, Ike. I mean, a lot of really cool stories. I think everyone should follow you. Before we go, though, I do want to ask for people that are out there that have a dream, they want to chase it, maybe are afraid to take that step, right? I think you're a good example of someone that just decided to, take the leap. What's your advice to them?
3 words. You're going to die.
Oh my gosh.
Why not try to chase your dream? I'm pretty simple like that, though. I'm like, I have the word delusional optimist in most of my social media and stuff. I know that we're here for this one life. I know that we're here for a short time, and I'd rather be kind of homeless and living on the streets pursuing my dream than working somewhere or doing something that is the traditional norm, or creating an income off of something that I don't find passion behind. So yeah, I'm just delusional enough to wake up every day and just be like, okay, this thing called life is really cool. Let's go try to make something cool happen today and follow our dreams. So I think in context, it's a very beautiful phrase that like, you're going to die someday. We're all going to die. So why not follow your dreams and passions? Because you don't know if you're going to be here, So
okay, I am the same way because I'm slightly nihilistic, but then people get really mad at me for saying stuff like that.
No, there's a phrase I'm getting it tattooed on me soon. It's a phrase called memento mori, and it's I think it's Italian, and translates to remember death.
Yep. Yeah.
And yes, there are people who would be like, why would you want to talk about death? Like that's taboo or whatever. I think the conversation of death and life in itself is very powerful. and it gives you perspective on, you know, how good we have it to wake up every day and be blessed. And I think a lot of people, whenever they have a close loved one pass away, or they visit a third world country and they get to see that side of life and that perspective, then it clicks in their head. You know, if your uncle who worked a 9-to-5 job to make tons of money his whole life and then was waiting for retirement and he passes away, you're like, oh, he never even got to enjoy all the fruits of his labor, right? So I think that brings perspective. So before somebody passes away or you go visit a third world country, I'm just trying to bring that level of perspective to people of like, hey, enjoy life that you got to wake up to today. Don't take it for granted. And if you have the willingness to pursue your dreams, big or small, and, you know, just go after it. Just do it.
Yeah. I love that. Well, I think we're pretty much out of time.
Yeah, we're
but
ending on a very deep note, which I love.
I know. Do you have any final words?
Go Packers.
Good to know you're a Packer fan.
Yeah.
Bills fan.
And then what's your social media so people can follow you?
It is at Ike_Wynter with a Y instead of an I. Yeah.
Gotta be all special.
It's my middle name, and that's how it's spelled. So
there we go.
Yeah.
There we go. All right. Well, thank you so much for coming on. I love just hearing your story and the purpose behind everything. You really just thoroughly think through everything, which I think a lot of people don't realize, that artists are just like this big pocket of colors and sunshine and everything. And I just love it. So
appreciate you. Thank you.
Thanks for coming on.
All right. Thanks, guys.
All right, Cabin listeners. Well, that is all we have for today. Go give Ike a follow, catch up with his work and everything he's doing, and we will see you next time.
Bye. Oak Creek's unique celebration of culture, arts, food, and entertainment, Cafe, is growing this year. Join us on September 13th from 3 p.m. to 9 p.m. at Drexel Town Square for a fun-filled evening featuring cultural performances and an international bazaar night market. Enjoy food, music, and vendors representing the diverse cultures that make Oak Creek and Wisconsin special. Cafe is proudly sponsored by Eater Flag. For more details, visit oakcreek.com/cafe.
When it comes to building something important, whether it's a cabin, barn, workshop, or business space, you want to be confident in the team that's bringing your ideas to life. That's where Pinot Buildings comes in. With decades of experience, they've mastered the art of building high-quality, custom structures that not only look great, but also stand up to the elements. Pinot Buildings is known for using the best materials, craftsmanship, and design techniques, ensuring your building is not only functional, but also built to last for years to come. And they're committed to working with you from concept to completion to make sure every detail is just right. Don't settle for less when it comes to your building project. Build with confidence, build with Pinot. Visit pinotbuildings.com to learn more and get in touch with their team to start your project today.
This fall, lace up your walking shoes and join us for NAMI Walks Wisconsin, the statewide walk for mental health. We're gathering on Saturday, October 4th on the beautiful Sheboygan riverfront, where the lake breeze, vibrant colors, and friendly faces will remind you why we love living in Wisconsin. Your steps help raise awareness, build community, and support mental health programs across the state. Can't make it to Sheboygan? No worries. There are several other NAMI walks happening across Wisconsin. Learn more or find the one near you at namiwalks.org/Wisconsin. That's NAMIWalks.org/Wisconsin.
Today's episode of The Cabin was hosted by Andrea Belke and Megan Christian and produced by Andrea Belke. Audio engineering and video teasers by Nick Cardarella and Megan Christian, with social media by Megan Christian. Production support by Gavin McLean. The Cabin is a production brought to you by Discover MediaWorks. To learn more, head to discovermediaworks.com and don't forget to leave a review.